All right, welcome back to the show. We're here to break down and preview this big-time matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the New York Giants, kicking off at 1 p.m. Eastern this Sunday. What we're doing today is giving fans from both sides a complete preview. What to expect, what could go right, and what could go wrong for both San Francisco and New York. I've been watching a lot of Giants football this season, and compared to recent years, this team definitely has more fight. They've got an edge, they're physical, and they play with heart. But man, they're coming off back-to-back gut-punch losses. First, that collapse against the Denver Broncos, where they gave up over 30 points in the fourth quarter alone, 33 points to be exact. Then, they lose last week to the Philadelphia Eagles, a game where the officiating didn't do them any favors, and they still gave up over 250 rushing yards. So, where does that leave this Giants fan base, sitting at 2-6 heading into Week 9? Honestly, Chase, the vibes are pretty rough right now. That loss to Denver broke hearts, mine included. Then against Philly, things just got worse. Cam Skattebo, one of the emotional leaders of the team, goes down with a season-ending injury. Malik Neighbors is also out for the year. Paulson Adebo, their top corner, didn't play. Javon Holland was out too. The roster just isn't deep enough to handle that kind of injury wave. This was never going to be a Super Bowl roster, but we hoped they'd at least be competitive, hanging around in that In the Hunt graphic come November. But now, it's about surviving and evaluating. The next 9 games are a huge sample for Brian Daboll to prove he should keep his job, and for Joe Schoen to see what kind of roster he's really built. The only reason I'm honestly still excited to wake up on Sunday mornings is to watch Jackson Dart play football. Kyle Shanahan even praised the kid this week. The Niners are thin defensively, but I'm pumped to see what Robert Saleh cooks up against Dart, one of the most exciting rookies we've seen. Dart's been impressive, especially for a rookie. During the draft process, you and I both loved his potential. His ability to improvise, extend plays, and stay composed under pressure is rare. He's got a strong arm and excellent pocket awareness. And what makes it even more impressive is that he's throwing to one of the weakest receiving groups in the league right now, yet he's maximizing everything he can from them. Losing Skattebo hurts, but his creativity and escapability make him dangerous. That said, this 49ers pass rush has been rough. Let's be real, the numbers are ugly. Just 9 total sacks, 30th in the league. Pressure rate, dead last. Hurries, 18th. Sack rate, 31. It's not what we've come to expect from a San Francisco defense. While the Giants' O-line has been better this year, it's still inconsistent. Andrew Thomas is playing like an all-pro again. Jermaine Eluemunor was solid before that pec injury, but he's been playing through pain. Against the Eagles, they gave up 22 pressures and 5 sacks, their worst outing of the season. The thing with Dart is that he sometimes holds on to the football too long. 4 of those 5 sacks were actually on him. He wants to make a play. It's that gunslinger mentality. But when nobody's open, you can't always do that. I think the Niners will try to force him to win from the pocket, keep him contained, and make him throw to receivers who can't separate. And the Niners just made a big move this week, trading for Keion White to strengthen that defensive line. They only had 2 healthy edge rushers before that trade. They even brought Clelin Ferrell back to the practice squad. Robert Saleh deserves credit. He's done a masterful job adjusting with limited depth. But last week against Houston, everything fell apart. The blitzes weren't landing, coverages broke down, and C.J. Stroud torched them with ease. 0 sacks. That can't happen again. Now, here's the big question for the Niners. Who's playing quarterback? We don't know if Brock Purdy will go. That turf toe is still an issue. Playing on MetLife's turf probably isn't ideal. So likely, it'll be Mac Jones again. And that sets up a huge matchup. The Giants' elite defensive front versus the Niners' struggling offensive line. The Giants' D-line might decide this game. They've got Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Abdul Carter, guys who can wreck a pocket fast. But the Giants' secondary? That's a mess. Cordell Flott is still in concussion protocol. Paulson Adebo might not play. Art Green is banged up. So they'll rely heavily on Deonte Banks, who has been picked on a lot. Every quarterback this year has gone after him. If the Giants want to stay in this one, they need a monster performance from Abdul Carter or Brian Burns. Someone to step up and disrupt the rhythm. And Dexter Lawrence has to dominate up front. He's one of the best interior linemen in football, but he's had a quiet few weeks. This could be his get-right game against a weak 49ers interior line. Connor Culp, the rookie guard, has struggled badly. Matt Hennessy, their backup center, has been shaky. If Lawrence wins that matchup, it could change everything. Meanwhile, the Giants' run defense has been a disaster. 32nd in yards per carry allowed. 32nd in EPA per rush. 32nd in success rate. And the Niners, when they play physical, run-first football, are hard to stop. Kyle Shanahan said a few weeks ago he wanted to bring back bully ball, and they ran the ball 40-plus times against Atlanta. I think we see that again this week. The Giants give up nearly 8 yards per carry outside the tackles, the worst in the NFL. That screams a breakout game for Christian McCaffrey. The Giants' linebackers have been a weak spot. They can't tackle or cover well, and McCaffrey has been lethal as a receiver. He's second in the NFL in catches, 56 receptions, behind only Jamar Chase. He's also top 10 in total receiving yards across all players, not just running backs. That's wild. He's on pace for another 1,000 rushing/1,000 receiving season. Exactly. And with how the Giants' defense is built, slow, reactive, bend, don't break, it's a bad formula against a team that executes as sharply as the Niners. Their DC, Shane Bowen, has been heavily criticized for that rush 3, drop 8 stuff. It burned them against Denver and Dallas. They just don't close out games. Even when they get a sack or a stop, they give up a big play right after. There's no killer instinct. Yeah, and that's what makes this game so critical for the Niners. The difference between 6-3 and 5-4 going into the trade deadline is massive. And speaking of trades, there's some noise around Kayvon Thibodeau. Some fans think he'd be a perfect fit in San Francisco. Could he get moved before the deadline? If the 49ers offered a first-round pick, maybe. But personally, I'd keep Thibodeau. You win in this league by drafting well, developing your guys, and keeping your talent. Thibodeau is having his best season yet. I'd hate to see him go, though if he sacks Mac Jones a couple of times Sunday, I might change my mind. Speaking of Mac Jones, he's been solid. 4-2 as a starter, leading the league in passing yards per game at one point. He's different from Purdy, but he runs Shanahan's system efficiently. When he's protected, he's accurate, poised, and decisive. When pressure hits, especially up the middle, things fall apart. That's the X factor here. The Giants' strengths attack the Niners' weaknesses, and vice versa. Giants can rush the passer, Niners can't block. Niners love to run, Giants can't stop the run. It could go either way. Vegas has San Francisco favored by 2.5 points, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants pull off an upset. It's an early East Coast game. Weird things happen. I expect McCaffrey to have a big day, but if Dexter Lawrence and that D-line dominate, the Giants could easily make it close. Bottom line, the Niners have to protect the quarterback and stay committed to the run. If they do that, they'll win. If not, the Giants might just steal one. It's been awesome doing these crossovers, breaking down the film, and giving fans both sides of the story. Thanks for watching. We'll see you Sunday for kickoff.